5 kinds of light. As artists, we talk about 5 basic shapes, 3 primary colors, 5 kinds of light. There are millions of different colors, of course, but we talk about 3 basic primary colors. And there are millions of different shapes, but we try to simplify the craft by talking about 5 basic shapes. So by simplifying the craft, we make it easier to manage colors, easier to manage light, easier to manage values, and easier to manage shapes. These aren't hard and fast rules, but this is a way that you can learn how to manage these different elements in art. So the 5 kinds of light that we talk about are direct light, midtone or halftone, shadow, reflected light, and accents. So you can see that our light source is coming from this direction. Put a little light bulb over here. And our first kind of light is direct light. This is light which is falling directly on the object and is usually perpendicular to the object. This is direct light here, here on the cone, and of course on the face of the ball is direct light. The second kind of light we talk about is halftone. This is the area on the object which is turned slightly away from the direct light but not in shadow. This is midtone or halftone. This is direct light, and this is shadow. This is a halftone here, and this is a halftone. You can see that it's turned away from the direct light slightly. Third kind of light is shadow. This is the light which is opposite the direct light. There are 2 kinds of shadow, form shadow and cast shadow. Here's form shadow, and here's cast shadow. Notice at the base of the pyramid how the shadow gets softer and higher in value as it moves away from the base of the pyramid. Notice that the form shadow is a bit lighter than the cast shadow, and that's almost always true. This is the cast shadow right here. It's shadow that's being cast by the direct light that's shining on the object. The third kind of light that we identify is called reflected light. This is light that is within the midtones, and it's caused by light that is reflecting off of surrounding objects. So you'll notice that the reflected light is always in the midtones. What happens is direct light bounces off of an object into the halftone of another object, and it raises the value in certain areas of the halftone. This is the halftone on the ball. This is reflected light. What's happening is the light is bouncing off of the pyramid into the back of the ball. Notice how this corner of the box is a little lighter than the halftone that's behind it. Well, what's happening is light is bouncing off of the cone into the halftone of the box. Same is true right here. Direct light bounces off of the pyramid and reflects into the back part of the ball. The last kind of light is called an accent. An accent is the lightest light or the darkest dark. They're used rarely and in very small amounts on a painting or drawing. They're the small little lines, the small little what we call accents, like right here is an accent. You'll notice that this little area right here, the light area, is a bit lighter than the direct light on the box. It's very subtle, but you can still see it. That's called an accent. Here's a dark accent right here. You can just make out this little darker line right there. That's a dark accent. At the bottom of the cone, there's a dark accent. It's right there. It's the darkest dark in the photo. Right here's an accent. It's a little more obvious. And right here's an accent. Try not to overdo the accents. Now let's look at this fantastic effect here. This is reflected light in nature. You can see on this rock how light is reflecting into the face of this rock as if there's a mirror there. What's happening is this right here is normal shadow. This is normal halftone or shadow. This is reflected light here. You can see the obvious difference. What's happening is light is coming from behind and above and bouncing into the face of this rock here. You can't see the face of it. You're seeing the back part of this rock and the back part of this rock, but light is bouncing into the face of these rocks and bouncing up into the face of this rock right here. And it's causing this phenomenon in nature that we refer to as reflected light. A beautiful effect. So remember, we talk about 5 kinds of light: direct light, halftone, shadow, reflected light, and accents.